This is how I got cockroaches out of my apartment. I don't know what it's like wherever you live. Where I live in the Bronx, you have like these monster dinosaur cockroaches that don't die. I live right next to a hospital, so I think I battled this fucking cockroach for like 20, half an hour. My apartment looked like it was in a war zone, and I emptied like an entire canister of bleach on it and it wouldn't die. So I had to go through all these methods. The first thing you're going to want to do is determine what type of cockroach you have. You have the giant water bugs, quote unquote, the smoky brown cockroaches, which they can just lay their eggs, and after they die, their eggs can still hatch later, wherever they laid them, which I think are worse. Or you have the German cockroach, which is smaller, but I think they lay more eggs, but the eggs hatch on them, I think. I had both, but the smoky brown one scared the hell out of me. So the first thing you're gonna want to do is get a bug bomb. You want to get one bug bomb for each room. You're gonna follow the instructions. I don't really need to tell you how to use them. Now, once those go off, you come back the next day. They say you should clean up the apartment, but I don't recommend that. I like leaving the apartment as just a gas chamber that if any bug comes in there, it dies. So I didn't clean my apartment after, except for the garbage. I took the garbage out, cleaned it, regularly, but I didn't wipe stuff down. And after the bug bomb, you're going to want roach gel. You're going to put roach gel on the creases, on walls, the corners of walls, any holes that you have, and not big holes, but small holes that you can't really fit anything into, so the bugs are coming out of there. But really, the roach gel is for the creases on the walls. The next is the boric acid. The boric acid is the most important thing, probably. You're going to throw it in all the big holes, any gaps. You're going to throw it all over your apartment. You're going to make your apartment toxic as hell. I used about probably 3/4 of a canister, and I have a one-bedroom apartment. I threw that shit everywhere. It was all over the place. But what that does is when the bug crawls over the boric acid, and you want to put a little bit down. Don't put a lot down because it'll go around it. You want to put a tiny little specks down so that when it goes over the boric acid, it attaches. I guess by static, I don't know, static electricity. It attaches to the bug, and then what they do is the bugs will clean themselves by licking themselves, and they'll go back to the nest with it in their stomach. They'll die, probably a painful death, and then the other bugs will eat the corpse, and then they'll get it, and then they'll die. After the boric acid, you get tape. You tape up every hole, every crevice, everything that you've thrown boric acid into, you tape up over that. You're going to also tape up any pipe around the pipes if you have holes or openings. You tape all that shit up, and then also you're going to want to buy, because they're going to come out of the shower drain, so you're going to want to buy a filter. It's some type of filter where only the water can get through the drain at the bottom. I tape up the filter. I don't even want the babies coming, because sometimes the little tiny babies will slip through the sides of the filter, and I want them all dead, so I tape up the sides of the filter. I don't want any of them in my house. I'm like a little girl with that stuff. So I tape up that. I have it's tape all over my house. It's boric acid all over my house. It's tape all over my house. And now the last thing that a lot of people forget, you're gonna want a cold apartment. Bugs hate the cold. I live in a co-op, so my electricity, everything's paid for in the rent. So I just crank the AC, both ACs, all day, all night. My apartment is just ice cold all day, all night. So I come back. Sometimes I'll find these little tiny, not cockroaches, but maybe a fly might sneak in, and that thing's turned over, upside down, dead. You want to freeze out anything else. You want to make sure nothing can survive in your apartment. So when you're all done, your apartment is going to be a toxic wasteland with boric acid all over the place. It's going to look like a serial killer's apartment with tape all over the place. If you bring girls back, they're going to be like, what the hell's going on here? And then after that is the freezing. You want to make it really cold. And that's it. And then you won't have bugs anymore. The end.